This beer is in particular being brewed for our 10th anniversary, which is in December. Very exciting to be 10 years old. I feel like my kid who just turned 10. He's very excited, I'm excited. This beer is very malty, very malt forward. It's super rich. It's got like a fruity note from the yeast character. But really the point of this beer is for our barrel aging portfolio. So we're trying to have building a bigger barrel age program in general, but really around our 10th anniversary, we're doing 4 different beers in 4 different bourbon barrels, all beers we've never done before, just to give you a very unique, I guess more robust barrel age experience. So in particular, Wee Heavy, as I mentioned, it's a Scottish ale, malt forward, barely any hops to this one. We are aging this currently in Four Roses Bourbon barrels. So we've never used Four Roses before. It's obviously a delicious bourbon. The barrels are super tight. They smelled awesome. So very excited about that. Give you a little history lesson on Wee Heavy. So Scottish ales were a highly regulated environment 100 years ago. So there were 60 shilling, 70 shilling, 80 shilling, and Wee Heavy. So the different shilling things is based on the alcohol percentage of the beer, and they'd be taxed at different rates based on the alcohol volume. So Wee Heavy is generally the biggest Scottish ale. There's some commercial examples like Founders does one. They're around. The other ones are very light, so it's a similar beer, but just lower alcohol. So like a 60 shilling might be like a 3.5% beer, kind of like an English mild. It's the Scottish equivalent of an English mild. These beers are not smoky. So like people think Scottish, Scotch, peat smoke. No, none of that stuff. The peat smoke is a function of malt for Scotch production is kilned with actual smoke from a fire. From a peat fire in particular, because they don't have much wood in Scotland. That's a main source of combustible material is peat. These beers are brewed with modern malt, so you've got indirect heating. There's no smoke component at all. So you would expect a lot of malt complexity, big body, and a very, no smoke, no smokiness, hardly any hops. And again, that goes back to not ancient, but hundreds of years ago, Scotland didn't grow hops, England did, and England would rake the Scottish over the coals for hop prices. So they charge them a ton. So we don't want to pay for a lot of hops, so we don't use hops. And a very neutral, maybe a little bit of fruitiness on the ale yeast that we use. So pretty traditional example, rich, malty, delicious, going to be built perfectly for the barrel aging program that we have going on. I'll be releasing more information about the other 3 beers we're going to be doing next fall for our 10th anniversary. But for now, you can enjoy a delicious Wee Heavy BuckleDown style. Cheers. Don't pay taxes. I'll pay the taxes on this beer for you.